Hello, this is Warlord 12, and today I'm going to be talking about the problems with Two Spirit, when it comes to indigenous culture, right? And, I'm going to talk about the problem with, Blizzard, and even when it comes to Activision. I'm going to get to Two Spirit first, because Two Spirit is a lie. People get to believe that, Two Spirit is okay, right? When it comes to homosexuality, I'm going to debunk this right now because, by the way, I'm Indian. I'm going to let you know right now, I'm Chata. So for anyone else who's indigenous, you have no excuses. I need to call this out because there's a problem with this. The whole two spirit thing, right? You know what I'm saying? There is a spirit, but that's the spirit of Satan and the devil. Before people start saying, "Oh, you're talking crazy all of a sudden on your videos," no, in my older videos, I've been talking about certain things. I've been exposing certain things. When it comes to Christianity, when it comes to problems in this world, I've been exposing that stuff already. So that you've got no excuses. Now, anyway, what I'm going to talk to you about, like when it comes to things like Two Spirit, if Two Spirit's all right, and which it's not, here's the problem. Because one of the main problems is that when it comes to, being indigenous, there's already a decline in that population, right? So why would anyone who's indigenous be okay with, the lies about Two Spirit when that has to do with the decline of your population? You know what I'm saying? That, you're not, because homosexuality is, you're not reproducing. So you're gonna support something that is gonna make you extinct in the future? I have to call this out. And now that I've got that out of the way, I wanted to debunk that, like I wanted to and needed to. I'm gonna talk about, because like this whole thing that I'm gonna talk about, all these game companies that I'm gonna bring up when it comes to Guerrilla Games, when it comes to Activision, when it comes to Blizzard, and even the people that made, The Last of Us, basically The Last of Us 2, right? I've already seen certain videos that people are already talking about that for The Last of Us 2, that they were planning that stuff to show that character being, homosexual, right? And here's the thing, same thing when it comes to Guerrilla Games. All of a sudden, Aloy's homosexual when it comes to, her brand new DLC. To me, it's like you put that in there for Pride Month or something to make more money. But either way, here's the thing. If if you're gonna make your character homosexual, why couldn't you do that from the beginning? Why did you have to wait for a second game or wait like 2 years after your game already came out? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't, like, if your character's gonna be homosexual or LGBTQ or whatever it is, why didn't you just put it out there in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like a bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? And this is the same problem when it comes to the music industry. Like certain old songs, you just find out that, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that song is made for the LGBTQ or homosexuality. Like that song called Coming Out. I don't know the exact name of that song, but Coming Out was basically for, homosexuality. And I'm like, and the thing about stuff like that when it comes to even the music industry is that those are things that are used like subliminal messages. Those are things that are used to manipulate people. And what homosexuality culture is right now, people have been using it to manipulate people, right? They'll get you to stop saying certain things. They won't let you use certain words that aren't even derogatory, right? You know what I'm saying? Certain words that aren't even, prejudiced or what have you. Saying certain words that aren't even profanity, right? Or cursing. But they want to shut you down from saying anything or telling the truth because a lot of people, they know the truth is, but they don't want other people to know. You know what I'm saying? So what people do now when it comes to gaming companies or comics or movies or anime, they'll use certain words to stop you from saying anything, right? They'll use stuff like hate speech, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? They'll use all kinds of things. And then they'll silence your comments by taking away your comments or taking away your video. And that's what YouTube does. People want to wonder why, how come no one's standing up against this stuff, right? How come gamers aren't speaking up about this stuff? It's because companies like YouTube, they'll take away your comments or take away your privileges. Do you see what I'm saying? And they've been doing this, especially when it comes to Apex Legends. People that are talking about they're not going to buy the game because of homosexuality, and people want to use excuses like, I'm gonna put it this way: if they made Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Liu Kang homosexual or LGBTQ, right, officially, right, you think people are gonna sit by and continue playing that game? No, they're really gonna speak up. If someone made Goku officially homosexual, you think people are gonna have you think people are gonna have that? You think people are not gonna get up and what I'm saying and speak up against that stuff? There's no way. You know what I'm saying? You're asking for people to have a conversation with you when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, other than that, when it comes to the problems with homosexuality and even Activision and, when it comes to Blizzard and stuff, here's a problem I have with, even Blizzard, right? There could be something that you're not even talking about when it comes to, the LGBTQ, right? You're just talking about the main problems with the game or whatever it is. Like, for instance, a very good example is the PvE mode, right? That Blizzard lied about. You know what I'm saying? They've probably been leading people on for a whole year, right? And this isn't about, being entitled. This is about, hey, you said a certain thing is supposed to be there, and it's pretty obvious that you didn't want to say anything to people because you knew that you're ripping people off. You didn't want people to leave your game and not pay for DLC. You knew what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? I get the people at Blizzard said sorry, but yeah, I'm pretty sure who didn't say sorry? The person hiding behind all the people that were saying sorry. The people who, put out the order to, lie about the PvE mode. You know what I'm saying? People like that. People that that are really in charge. And that's the reason why I don't accept that apology. Because it's not just lying. It's just like, dude, if you're not going to have the guts to tell me, really tell me adult to adult, what you did, I'm not going to accept that. And it's the same thing, the problem with homosexuality when it comes to culture and homosexuality, what people have done with it is that, it's obvious that it's evil. Homosexuality is evil, right? It's already a sin. And I'm going to make sure I put, a link in the description about the scriptures already put, so people can't use excuses, so people can't tell me, oh, you can't say that without using a scripture or whatever, because I've already explained certain things already. And if you're going to try and you can't talk about Christianity because it's a religion. I don't have a religion. Christianity isn't a religion. It's a belief. You know what I'm saying? So even then, if you want to talk about all that, religious stuff, like these coward tactics needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And that's the main reason why I'm speaking up against this stuff when it comes to being a real gamer. Because a real gamer is going to speak up against stuff like this. A lot of people would have spoke up against this stuff, but YouTube wants to hide the truth because YouTube doesn't want people to know the truth. And it's the same thing when it comes to the company of Google. They don't want people knowing the truth. So, you know what I'm saying? They'll take away your privileges. They'll do whatever it takes. If homosexuality, right, is, so legit, why do you got to remove someone's comment for just because they told the truth? I'm talking about people who didn't curse, people who didn't use any type of derogatory language, and you're gonna do some shady stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like gatekeeping beyond gatekeeping, and it needs to stop right now. All this Captain Save the Day with these companies, it ends today. A lot of us gamers, we've had enough of it and we're speaking up against it. A lot of people, you can only push people so far. People aren't going to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Until people have had enough of it. And then people, you know what I'm saying, rally together and say, hey, we had enough of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've got to go through a whole month of all this pride stuff, all this stuff that people are forcing. Now, I'm going to go back and get to the problem with Blizzard. So I don't get off topic, right? Because I already know people are going to use a bunch of excuses. So the problem with Blizzard, right? Like what I talked about with the whole PvE thing. People just talked about the PvE mode, something that we should have had in the first place, something that, Blizzard lied about that we were going to get. So once gamers, started calling Blizzard out on it, you know what Blizzard did? They tried to use the LGBTQ as a shield. And Blizzard's not the only, gaming company that does this. A ton of gaming companies do this. And a lot of people have had enough of it. We're tired of it. You know what I'm saying? If homosexuality is so legit, right? If you had the guts to take away someone's comment and to, remove someone's video, you have the guts to, lie to people, or you have the guts to use all these coward tactics, right? When it comes to homosexuality, and use not just a bunch of excuses, but it's like you know what you're doing. You're using certain words or saying things in a certain way to stop people from saying anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be an adult and tell me what you really want to say. You know what I'm saying? Don't try and hide behind different corners and all being dodgy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you really have the guts, tell people what the problem is. Tell people what you really think. Tell people what you really want to say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm being real serious. Because I come from a warrior mentality. You know what I'm saying? If you're really going to be an adult, say it. Don't use all these coward tactics. Don't be hiding behind the LGBTQ anytime someone calls you out on something that had nothing to do with homosexuality in the first place. And even then, when people are talking about, homosexuality, and when it comes to, companies like, Blizzard or Activision, or it comes to Guerrilla Games, or even, like I said, or for The Last of Us, right? For The Last of Us 2 and for Guerrilla Games, it's like, if you're going to have your character be homosexual, do it from the beginning. Especially when it comes to movies or anime or comics. If homosexuality is so legit, why do you wait until the last minute to tell people your character is gay? Why do you keep on trying to hide? You know what I'm saying? Why do you have to use all these dumb coward tactics? And I'm talking about people who are high up, right? Who have all this, all this authority, right? Like people that are, the president, instead of having people vote, they just pass a bill, without being fair, right? And other than just passing a bill, right? Like I said, you have people in high places who will manipulate the system to make homosexuality work for, whoever they want it to work for when it comes to selfish reasons, right? And I know there's a bunch of witches that are probably watching my channel and other people's channel when it comes to being against homosexuality. And a lot of these witches, they know exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They know the truth, right? There's a lot of them that know the truth. But they won't let anyone else know that they don't want anyone else to know what they know about the truth about homosexuality, how it's a sin and how it's evil. And they know it's evil, but they don't care. And now, other than witches, a lot of people, when it comes to homosexuality, they don't care about, if they know it's wrong or not. They just don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I needed to say something about all this stuff, especially when it comes to, why do you think the school system is so broken? Because you got a bunch of people in high places who are hiding behind the shadows, right? Bunch of people, you don't know their face, you don't see their face, they're not going to say anything to you directly, They use all these coward tactics and pull all the strings like, pulling like puppet strings. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you know people that I'm talking about. People behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? That manipulate, the school system. And when it comes to the, certain, lies in the school system as well. I don't want to get off topic, like I said, but even when like I was already talking about how these people that it's like you don't see their face or all that type of thing. Like I said, why do you think the school system's so messed up? Why do you think it's so easy for people to push homosexuality on people, right? Because people are using a bunch of manipulative tactics, and that's the whole problem. Even when it comes to anime, music, video games, they'll use all these different subliminal messages. You know what I'm saying? They're like doing it. They're doing this stuff in your face. You know what I'm saying? You have the guts to do all that stuff, but you won't. You know what I'm saying? But you won't. Come to talk to people about this stuff. You won't actually have a conversation with people about this stuff, man. You have the guts to use all this coward trash. A lot of us, we're not putting up with it anymore. Enough is enough. After today, enough is enough. All you gaming companies. And I don't normally do this when it comes to giving a game review. When it comes to Horizon Forbidden West, I want to actually give it a 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It's for the most part, for the stuff that's in the game, I just give it like a 7 out of 10. It would have got a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 if you hadn't tried to use all these coward tactics and lie to people about, saying you being dishonest about your character being homosexual in the first place. Then you put it into like a DLC that people are going to buy. No, this is why a lot of us, we don't respect homosexuality. We don't respect these coward tactics. That's why these gaming companies don't get the respect from me or other people. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be real with people, be real with people. You know what I'm saying? Because if homosexuality is so innocent, why do you got to use all these tactics? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if homosexuality is so legit or if people like it so much, right, why won't people just make a movie, make movies for for LGBTQ, or make video games just for LGBTQ, or make anime, etc., or music for the LGBTQ, or people who live a homosexual lifestyle, or you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to all this other nonsense like transgender or femboy, all this other nonsense, or lesbianism, or being bisexual, which is still homosexual. You're just using the whole bisexual thing so you can keep on switching 24/7. I'm gonna let you know right now, straight up, what you're doing. That's keeping it 100. What you're doing, but you know what I'm saying, with all these different things, if it's so legit, right? But you know why? You know, saying people aren't gonna make, certain things for LGBTQ just for the LGBTQ and people who believe in homosexuality, because they know people won't buy it. Because people know that they don't like it. So I'm like, so why do you keep forcing it on people if you know people don't like it? You know what I'm saying? It like I said, these coward tactics, it ends today. You know what I'm saying? Someone had to speak up against this stuff. What I want to say even further, when it comes to these gaming companies, right? For any time you want to say something, you tell the truth about it, they'll instantly try to do something so that you can't say anything. That's one of the top main reasons why you don't see enough people telling the truth. Because I need to also say this when it comes to Activision and, saying how they try to get rid of certain DLC when it came down to for certain YouTubers, right? Things that they've been advertising all of a sudden, and they wanted to, best way to put it is like drop the ball on someone just because they spoke out and told the truth about the problems with gaming. It's just like, when you do stuff like this is the main reason why real gamers like me will call this stuff out. And a lot of other gamers, they're not gonna put up with this stuff anymore, man. So it's just like, that's the main reason why you'll lose money. Because it's like, you really want to start something with people that already weren't okay with a certain thing, right? it's just kind of like you wanted to start something, and it's like even then, with certain comments that I can't say, that I'm not going to say, that some of those YouTubers made, right? They, you know what I'm saying? Activision, you know what you're doing, man. You know exactly what you're doing. And you're trying to use all these other excuses and things to try and justify and cover up what you did. And it's not going to work. It's not working anymore. Just like for all you other gaming companies, it's not working. Same with Apex Legends. I already explained why a lot of people already left that game to begin with as well. A YouTuber really tried to tell me that homosexuality wasn't the main reason why people left, and I'm like, that's one of the main top reasons why people left that game. Because you're putting too many characters in that have to do with LGBTQ, and they're not putting up with that stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, if you're gonna make your game be about homosexuality, tell people 100% that that's what you're doing. Tell people from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Other than um, other than homosexuality being a sin, I said this is why I don't respect homosexuality, because it's just too much coward tactics, too much manipulation, right? So this is why this stuff doesn't get any respect from me whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Um, Back to what I was talking about for the review for Horizon Forbidden West, 7 out of 10. It's because to me, Guerrilla Games, to me, it's like you don't think that a lot of us know enough about your game or competent enough to know about certain things that you don't you know games, your video game, and your design. Like for instance, like the Claw Strider, right? Why you made it so slow, like a box turtle? It's like when you think about the name or when you look at a raptor, you know that it's fast, right? So why in the world would a Claw Strider be so slow? And there's no excuses for this. It's just saying like you should have been able to use Claw Strider as a weapon when it comes to using like some of its plasma, you know, functionalities and stuff like that. And it's like the same thing with the Sunwing, how you can fly on a Sunwing, but you can't do air raids on your opponent. You can't use weapons and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, you really think that we don't know what's going on, Guerrilla Games? Because here's the thing. That's why I gave your game a 7 out of 10, because it's like, to me, it's like you really are trying to be like, oh, we don't know what's going on, but like we don't know what you're doing. And it's like you have no excuses for why your game is like it is, because you're holding back gaming. Same with the new Zelda game is holding back gaming, but more on Horizon Forbidden West. It's just like the Sunwing. It should have been able to go faster easily. Overclocking, you should have been able to go faster with it. Really, truly soar through the skies, but you're not able to, right? And a lot of people have already called this stuff out. And the thing is, it's ironic because you try to use excuses like, oh, because the game makes the game too easy. Like, stop it. Because look at games like, Shadow of War, right? Or Shadow of Mordor, the sequel that they have right now. In that game, you can ride on a dragon and you can have the dragon breathe fire. So there's no excuses. You can't sit there and try and tell me, what I'm saying, that it would make the game too easy. Like, that's why you balance the video game. That should be obvious. There's no excuses, man. Um, I'll probably talk more about certain things that they should have put in the game for Horizon Forbidden West in some other video. Maybe I might not, because it's just like, why give you any good ideas, Guerrilla Games? Because you want to switch up on people like you did with Aloy. So why should I give you ideas? You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, probably won't. But other than that, and it's just like I said though, calling out even Blizzard with all the stuff that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? This really needs to stop. And it's just like in Blizzard's name, people have already linked how when it comes to Blizzard's the way Blizzard's wording, right, for their merchandise that has the word Blizzard on it, how certain words, it's like it spells liar, and it's just like, if that isn't further from the truth about your company, Blizzard, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this is like why I don't respect your apology. The reason why I'm not gonna respect your apology is because that didn't come from the person who's hiding behind all the other people who are saying sorry. It's not coming from the person who made the call to trick and lie people about their game, about their PvE mode. And it's not just about some game mode like I'm gonna quit Overwatch 2. I'm not gonna quit Overwatch 2, but certain things I'm just not gonna do when it comes to Overwatch 2 like I used to. And then here but the main thing to take away and talk to you about the problem for Blizzard and with the PvE mode is that Blizzard, you had something very special going on when it comes to that skill tree thing. You know what I'm saying? That was going to be a real game changer, a real game breaker to actually get you real money from people. But you squandered it and messed it all up. Because without the skill tree, right, it it was already going to help break the mold when you play as a healer. Because we all know that support and healers are boring. With the skill tree, it would have changed things up a bit. It would have allowed people to have their own type of build and play styles and stuff like that. That would have been more content and more money for you, Blizzard. But no, you decided to get greedy and you messed it all up for yourself. And I said, that could actually help you when it comes to being one of the best video games in history. But you messed it up. I don't mean to hark on you or, you know what I'm saying, or to put you down, but it's just like, I just want to make sure that you know that what you did, you messed it up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know that. And then some other game company is probably going to do what you did. I'm not talking about the lying part, of course, but I'm talking about they're probably going to take what you did, like with the skill tree, probably put it in their own video game, and then make money off of you, Blizzard. And you know what I'm saying? And you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Someone's got to say it. I'm gonna say this right now in case you try to use any tricks again, like how you'll try to hide behind the LGBTQ again. After I made this video, I'm gonna make sure I call that out right now before you try something like that. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing it way too many times. It's like people who want to cry wolf. Ironically, that's just like what you do, Blizzard. It's like you cry wolf when you're not even in real trouble, right? It's just like you won't own up to what you did. If you watch my video, right, that I have put in a link in the description below, right? Because I'm someone who used to struggle with, homosexuality. I used to be a part of that stuff when it comes to homosexuality, but I didn't like it, so I quit that stuff. It wasn't easy, you know what I'm saying? And like when you get out of that stuff, it's not going to be easy, but I got out of it. Why? Because I used the Word of God. I used the Bible. Jesus brought me out of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So before you try to use um, hypocrite as an excuse, even for the definition of hypocrite, a hypocrite is someone who tells someone else not to do something that they continue to do. Because I don't continue to live that lifestyle, you can't try and use the word hypocrite. You're going to have to come up with a better word than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But, you know what I'm saying? But just because of all that stuff, don't think I'm not going to tell you like it is 100%. And I'm going to tell you like this because I'm glad I don't live that lifestyle anymore. It's a terrible lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I even bring that up is to tell people that it helps people to know that there is no excuses, and that not only no excuses, that you can get out of homosexuality. You're not born homosexual. That's a lie. Definitely, it's a lie from the devil in the pit of hell. Now, because I'm going to also, say more about this stuff when it comes to homosexuality, how, because there are certain things that people try to hide about homosexuality. They don't want to tell you the main reasons why they started living a homosexual lifestyle in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, because they were just born that way. No, they weren't. And this proves my point even further about how people force homosexuality, because people want to say that people are born homosexual because a scientist can alter someone's DNA to be homosexual. That's called manipulation. So it's like you're proving my point even further that, yes, homosexuality truly is forced. Do you get what I'm saying? But the issue when it comes to not living a homosexual lifestyle, right? You just have to have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Repent of your sins every day, and you know what I'm saying. Repent of your sins often throughout the day. That's really all you have to. I mean, not all you have to do, but that's uh, part of what you have to do, right? Things like that. And then there's scriptures that you use to like stay away from that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like I said, I had to call the stuff out. And for someone uh, who knows about all these tricks and lies when it comes to homosexual, the LGBT community, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when it comes to using all these tricks and deception, all these deceptions and lies and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? They'll try to say certain things like, but it's just like I said, man, you have the guts to do all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Have the guts to actually tell people like it is 100%. You know what I'm saying? Stop dodging. And I need to say this because away. This is why I'm also calling out Street Fighter 6 when it comes to their character that they're trying to promote, when it comes to the woke agenda nonsense. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the LGBTQ, they want to push that stuff, right? And this is why I already said in one of my comments about how when it comes to the LGBTQ and all that other stuff and these forced agendas, that you don't have to bow down to this propaganda stuff. You don't have to bow down to these coward tactics. You don't have to bow down to these people trying to force you to do something that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? That you just have nothing to want to do with it. It's just like, it's like you don't have to bow down to like this evil and things like that. It's like just like in the scripture when it comes to, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. You know what I'm saying? How there was something that a king wanted to force them to do something. You know what I'm saying? Bow down to their false idols and stuff, and they didn't do it because they served Jesus Christ. So I'm letting you know as well, like, you don't have to bow down to this garbage. You don't have to bow down to these people, man. Something like this minority that wants to force you to doing what they want you to do and force you into all this manipulation stuff. And this is why I tell you, you don't have to do that. Why you don't have to bow down to these people, man. Don't let people walk all over you. Like I said, you know what? And because this is just like in what I've experienced in my life. I mean, not when it comes to homosexuality, but something close to it. Is that I used to stand up for people that got bullied because I got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I stood up to my bullies because I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. And I'm standing up to this garbage as well. But one other thing that I need to definitely talk about before I go is one of the other main problems with homosexuality, right? That people talk about, people try to use excuse for. I need to say this is a huge insult when it comes to indigenous people and their culture, or people who are Aboriginal or black. So people have been trying to say that, oh well, saying they try to compare homosexuality to, they're trying to add they're trying to compare homosexuality to prejudice. People saying that, oh well, that's just like being prejudiced when it comes to being against homosexuality because people are born homosexual. I already explained and debunked how you're not born homosexual, and even then, it's like when we talk about things about being born, when it comes to skin color, I'm saying why I find this whole thing an insult is just like I'm born with brown skin color, and I've done with prejudice when it comes to people that do drive by in their cars and say the N word and stuff like that, or how people talk to you in a certain way and you know exactly what they're really trying to say when it comes to being prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll have certain people. You know what I'm saying? Just all this ridiculousness or things that you've already seen when it comes to police and people stopping people because of their skin color. Homosexuality isn't a skin color. When it comes to being homosexual or living a homosexual lifestyle, you can hide that anytime you want to. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have to. You don't have to wear a rainbow on your shirt or whatever it is. You can hide anytime you want. A person with a brown skin color or a certain skin color, you know what I'm saying, that is going to get targeted by the police. You can't hide that. Or targeted by other, I guess, ethnicities, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I said, this is why I say that it's an insult to me and the other people when you try to compare prejudice to homosexuality, because they are nothing alike. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've always heard about or seen how some people are, getting attacked because of homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, but like I said, because you can hide, it's not like someone who's born with a skin color. It's nothing close to that because you're wearing it all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Public. I don't care if you're Aboriginal and you're black or you're indigenous and you're trying to use that when it comes to homosexuality because you live a homosexual lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way, man. It's like people who are, what I'm saying, white and Aboriginal, and what I'm saying, they try to play both sides. I mean, in a lot of cases, it doesn't work that way. But I had to say something about this because it's just like when it comes to LGBTQ and homosexuality, I'm going to say this on behalf of indigenous people that leave our culture alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave our stuff alone, man. I will tell you like it is. And to prove my point even further, when's the last time you've seen people go after the homosexuality community when it comes to their organs, right? When it comes to people that are trafficking people, what I'm saying, of a certain ethnicity, they're gonna go after someone who has dark skin because melanin skin now is it's basically popular or not in the good way, bad way. People are trying to get people's skin. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do certain things with that skin. Um, Basically, what I'm saying, trying to copy other people's skin color and stuff like that. And I'm like, the fact that homosexuality doesn't have problems like that, this is why I say it's an insult to me and others who are Aboriginal or Black or Indigenous, and you try to compare, you know, being Black or saying a skin color to homosexuality. Saying stop it, please stop it. They're not the same thing, and they never will be. But that's enough of that. I'm Warlord 12, and I'm out. Have a nice day.